Hey, it's Eric Crawford from WDRB Sports with rapid reaction from Louisville's 39-34 win over Georgia Tech in Jeff Brohm's debut as Louisville coach. It's not that rapid because they just turned out most of the lights here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but maybe dark isn't a bad thing. You know, it was a really dark first half for Louisville. Rick Bozich and I kept texting back and forth, and we're saying, you know, the kind of stuff you say. Maybe Indiana's looking to extend the series now instead of get out of it. But it didn't stay that way. It was a rough first half for Jack Plummer. It was a very bad second quarter for the Louisville defense, which gave up 28 points in the quarter. But a lot of good things happened at halftime. Jeff Brohm took the paint off the walls, got into some guys, but it's more, coaching is more than about making fiery speeches. He also gave them some tools. They made some critical adjustments, both sides of the ball in the second half, that carried them to a big win in this thing. Listen to what some of the guys said.
You know what, we got in a rut there, playing too much man coverage in the second quarter. We had some guys running all over the place and not knowing where to be. I thought we played the same front too much. We were on our heels. The linebackers weren't attacking downhill. And fortunately, we've worked a lot of things throughout fall camp, the summer and the spring, and we made adjustments. And we used different calls, changed the front, stemmed the front, played more zone, and we did a much better job. And I just think you know what, you come in the game thinking you can do something, and if it doesn't work, you got to be able to adjust. So I applaud our defensive coaches for making those adjustments. Our defensive players were coming out and really doing a heck of a job in the second half until the very last drive, getting the ball back for us when we needed it. You know, it really was a great team effort in the second half that we had to have, or we're not going to win the game. I didn't lift a whole lot of spirits at halftime. You know, I try to be as positive as I can, but, you know, it came down to, you know, somebody needed to challenge our players to do more. And it's got to come from me. And somebody needed to challenge our coaches to do more. And that's including me. I made too many mistakes. There's a lot of things we got to clean up. Football is a game of toughness, intensity, passion, and that's just how the game works. And, you know what, if you don't have that, you know, you're not going to win. So I just think that with all that said, you know what? We communicated what we needed to do. We didn't give in. We didn't give up. We didn't feel sorry for ourselves. We just came out and played football much sounder and much better, and found a way to win in the end.
Well, I feel like coming in halftime, Jeff Brohm had got us hyped. Man, he told us, like, don't quit. Like, it's still some time left. Got us hyped. We came out. We played our butt off until the clock hit 0. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even remember. I was just hyped. Like, it was just like, it was crazy. It felt like a dream. I felt like we was gonna win regardless. Like, I just felt like everybody had the energy back that we brought in first quarter. We just came out and competed.
Yeah, not my best first half of football, that's for sure. Came back. I'm proud of myself for battling back in the second half, and I thought I played really well in the second half. Just gotta start off quicker, and you know, like, that's probably a different game if I start the game off right and do my job.
Louisville gave up 282 yards in the second quarter alone, gave up 28 points in the second quarter. So some things had to be adjusted. You heard Jeff Brohm talk about how they changed some fronts and how they simplified things a little bit for their secondary, and did a few things nuts and bolts wise to get their defense back on track. But what they did on offense was pretty simple. They just got Jack Plummer settled down and got it to the playmakers in space. Jamari Thrash, Kevin Coleman, got Jawar Jordan some carries. Got it to the guys who can be dangerous with the ball, and they did their thing. Sometimes it's not a complicated game, and they made it look simple in the second half and roaring back to win this thing. The only glitch in the second half was a late drive they gave up to Georgia Tech. But Louisville really, you know, you look at the three phases of the game, their offense, throw out the first half, they were much better in the second half, and even in the first half they moved the ball. They just had to settle for field goals instead of getting touchdowns when they got to the red zone, and that's something that has to be cleaned up. Defensively, they definitely cleaned things up in the second half. And think about this, if somebody had told you before the season that they would be playing without MJ Griffin and Ben Perry in the season opener against Georgia Tech, you probably wouldn't have liked what you saw on defense. If you look at the numbers of this defense in this game, they're not great, but if you look at the resilience they showed after that second quarter when they gave up 280 yards and 28 points, it was a big improvement in that second half, and I think some guys came away with a lot of confidence. They made big plays. They forced a big fumble late. Offense, of course, did what it did. This was a respectable game for Louisville's offense if you look at the total game stats. And then you look at special teams, and I think we need to talk about Brock Travelstead. You know, the guy comes in and he's 4 for 4 on field goals in this game. Louisville puts up 474 yards of offense. They pass for 247. They run for 227. Jawar Jordan has 96 yards rushing. Jamari Thrash, 88 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. Kevin Coleman, 66 yards receiving, and he scores a touchdown. A lot of good things happened in this game, but the big good thing that happened was Louisville gets a win for Jeff Brohm in his opener. And here's the thing I want you to remember about this game, because it could have gone either way in the second half. And either way, you know, I've seen some people say, well, Jeff Brom's the right guy for the job because they won. Jeff Brohm would have been the right guy for the job even if they lost. And they're going to lose some games. They're going to lose some games that you expect them to win. They're going to not cover some games when you expect them to cover. They're going to win some games that'll surprise you too. They're going to have great seasons, they're going to have average seasons, and they're going to have down seasons. Jeff Brohm is going to be the coach. He's going to be the coach here for a long time. So now is pretty much the time to just buy in and believe in what he's doing in the process and accept that there are going to be fits and starts. There's going to be a lot of success. There's going to be a few setbacks. They're going to happen. This guy's the coach. He's from here. He knows what this program's about. He's committed to building it the best way that he can, in the right way, and to becoming the best coach he can be, and he's already a very good one. He's the coach, win or lose. He's going to be here for a while, and I think that's something that if people will embrace and get involved with, they'll have a lot more fun with football. This was a fun game tonight. It wasn't fun in the first half when they were getting Georgia Tech's running all up and down the field, but it was fun in the second half because you saw guys respond in the ways Jeff Brohm wants his teams to play. Harder than the other team, smarter than the other team. Those are the things that Louisville did. They came back, they showed resilience, they showed character, they made adjustments, they looked well coached in the second half. That's all Louisville fans are asking, and I'd say it's probably a very happy group of Louisville fans coming away from this game. We'll talk a lot more about Louisville football, a quick turnaround. They play again on Thursday night. The home opener for Jeff Brohm should be a fun crowd and a big crowd. For now, there's lots of coverage everywhere. There's coverage at WDRB Plus, our app. You can get it on your smartphone or on your phone or tablet. WDRB.com, Rick Bosnav columns. We're on your TV news. We're in a lot of different forums. If you want us in more, ask for more. We're having fun with this. We've had a great trip to Atlanta. Look forward to coming back to Louisville and watching a lot more college football this weekend. For now, Rapid Reaction, I'm Eric Crawford for WDRB Sports.